Well, two new auto carrier companies from East Tennessee are under scrutiny tonight by state and federal investigators. They're brokers who arrange vehicles to be transported. Tonight, 6 on Your Side consumer investigator Don Dare talks with two customers and the people they did business with.
Every day across America, thousands of vehicles, used ones, are shipped by transport professionals because people relocate or buy cars in a different location. Two new local companies include Titanium Transport, a broker, and Transport Relief, another broker from Pigeon Forge. This website even includes a picture of a truck, but we found out there is no truck.
Oh, it's nice.
Retired Army Master Sergeant Todd Morrell contracted with Transport Relief in February to move this 1964 pickup from Washington State to his home in Stafford, Virginia, an hour south of Washington. He paid a deposit by check. But the $925 quote on his contract shot up by $300 as the delivery date approached.
They lured me in with a low price and then consistently tried to get me to increase the amount that I would pay for the move.
Master Sergeant Morrell eventually hired another company to move his truck. He never got his non-refundable $200 deposit back.
No scratch.
Mary Moore hired Titanium Transport with a deposit through PayPal in January to pick up this 1970 Maverick in East Texas and move it to Hampstead, Maryland, where Mrs. Moore and her husband own a car repair business 30 miles west of Baltimore.
When I called, they said that they have their own trucks. They're not just brokers. They have their own vehicles.
Like any good business person, Mary has kept meticulous notes on her dealings with Titanium Transport. $400 was the guaranteed quote, according to this company document, to move the Maverick. But as moving day approached, the guaranteed quote wasn't so guaranteed.
My new bill of lading says $700, not $400.
Mary eventually canceled the contract and never got her non-refundable deposit back either. Todd Morrell tells a similar story about Transport Relief. As his truck was about to be picked up, he questioned an agent why the price had jumped from $900 to more than $1,200.
And she said, okay, let me look for another carrier. And this process just kept going on and on and on. And then as I started doing some research, found out that this unfortunately is a bait and switch move.
As Mr. Morrell researched Transport Relief on a state of Tennessee website, he discovered another name, Ownership Relief.
They told me to make my check payable to Ownership Relief, not Transport Relief. Well, I looked up Ownership Relief and I see.
What he sees when he clicks the tab under Ownership Relief is the name Titanium Transport, the same company Mrs. Moore dealt with, and the agent was William Soller. So all of these companies are related?
There's some type of affiliation.
The Department of Transportation here in Washington, D.C. monitors transport companies. We checked with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Both Titanium Transport and Transport Relief of Pigeon Forge are registered as brokers. As a result, complaints can be filed with the Department of Transportation, which will investigate. This home at Pigeon Forge is the listed business address for the two companies. Hey, how are you? William Soller, or Billy, associated with Titanium Transport, greeted us, and so did Chris Heaton, the agent for Transport Relief. We asked why the price of Todd Morrell's contract went up so much.
The contract says that there is no guarantee of a transport will ever happen, and there's no guarantee on quotes. That's why we don't send people prices, we send them quotes.
No guarantee that a transport will happen? We checked Todd Morrell's contract. It shows no reference to that language. Soller and Heaton said 75% of their customers experience no trouble. The other 25%, they said, people like Mrs. Moore and Mr. Morrell, have problems that are out of the broker's control.
We're not here to rip anybody off, all right? I take pride
We've delivered
in helping
about
my
20,
clients.
dispatch about 20
You're
this
dealing
morning.
with two people that have major issues.
What would you say to people who want to deal with Titanium Transport or Transport Relief?
Don't. Just run.
We checked with the Better Business Bureau. Grades for the two companies are Fs with over 3 dozen complaints. The trade website Transport Reviews is filled with a dozen or more not so flattering comments about the companies. Other dissatisfied customers have called us from across the country. We directed them to the Tennessee Consumer Affairs Department and to the Department of Transportation to file their complaints. They are the only government agencies with authority to take action. We have a link to their websites at WATE.com. Don Dare, 6 on Your Side.
An auto carrier company from Pigeon Forge that did business around the country has closed.
We first told you about Transport Relief and a sister company last spring. Well, tonight, 6 on Your Side, consumer investigator Don Dare talks with a former employee.
Randy Wolf says she knew the inside dealings of Transport Relief and its companion company, Titanium Transport. She worked at the company's office in Pigeon Forge for 7 months, performing a variety of jobs.
It's shady. At best, it's shady.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Last May, the office parking lot at Transport Relief was full as we met several salespeople on break. We had come to ask the manager some questions. That's because Todd Morrell told us from his home in Virginia how he was ripped off by Transport Relief when he tried to move this old truck across the country.
It's all original.
Mary Moore in Hempstead, Maryland told us a similar story. She had to hire a second company to move this Maverick from Texas after signing a contract with Titanium Transport. Randy Wolf knew of Mary Moore and Todd Morrell while she was at Transport Relief. She had worked as a dispatcher, customer service rep, and salesperson until August, when she and several other women were let go. It was good money?
It was. It was good money.
Then what happened?
The money quit. This is orders that I have taken.
On individual sales forms or pickup and delivery sites, the non-refundable $200 deposit is noted, and the quote, which she admitted was often deceptive.
Do whatever it took to make the sale.
Which meant what?
If you needed to guarantee them a price match, knowing that it wouldn't get them moved, give them the price match.
Did you know Todd Morrell?
I knew of the quote. I've talked to him on the phone several times when he's called in. He gave a lowball quote. I think originally he was probably about $400 to $500 lower than what he needed to be.
That's exactly what Todd Morrell suspected last spring.
They lured me in with a low price and then consistently tried to get me to increase the amount that I would pay for the move, is when I requested my money back.
Now this says what?
Collections.
What's that mean?
That means that person stopped payment.
As the summer went on, Mrs. Wolf's payroll sheet reflects a growing number of unhappy customers like Todd Morrell canceling their orders.
I'd like this company to be done. I mean, it's ridiculous the way they're treating people.
This is a national website called Transport Reviews where customers post messages about transport companies. Since our story first aired last spring, ratings and reviews for Transport Relief have gone in the tank. Horrible, do not use, writes Army Guy. Arnold says worst company ever dealt with, and dozens of more former customers express a similar theme.
Hey, Don, how you doing, buddy?
Which one, who?
Man, I've always wanted to meet you.
The company operators, Chris Heaton and his partner Billy Soller, claimed they were busy when we met in May.
Is there any possible way you could set an appointment with us? We'd like to have a
We're covered up. I mean,
high call volume.
Well, let me just ask you, this won't take too long. Both Soller and Heaton said they took pride in their business, cared for their customers, and above all, didn't cheat them. But tonight, they're no longer in business. The other day, as we went under the same carport, we discovered Transport Relief is closed. No one is there anymore to answer the office door or the phones. The business has shut down.
That's amazing.
On the phone, Todd Morrell says he's not surprised at the change of events.
The fact that they're out of business and stopping them from taking advantage of other people is a good thing.
Randy Wolf says late last month, she received a tenth of the money she was owed by Soller and Heaton. The business partners, we are told, they now sell timeshares in Sevier County.